For decades, we've all been told that a college degree is the golden ticket, right? The one sure path to a better life. But what if that ticket is broken? Today, we're diving into the documentary The Education Trap to explore how that dream of higher education turned into a financial nightmare for millions of people. And this quote from the film, man, it just perfectly captures the heart of this crisis. It's this deep sense of betrayal that so many people feel. They did everything they were told to do only to find out the game was rigged from the very beginning. I mean, the scale of this is it's staggering. The film points out that since 1980, the cost of college has exploded by over 1,200%. That's not a typo, and it's fueled a $1.7 trillion student debt crisis in the US. And that's not just some abstract number, it's a massive crushing weight on an entire generation. Okay, so $1 trillion crisis. It's a huge number. It's hard to even wrap your head around. But what does it actually look like for just one person? Well, the documentary shows us through a really powerful personal story. So this is Maria Santos. She's a nurse, featured in the film, graduated near the top of her class, works hard, but the math of her life is just brutal. After she pays her student loan bill and her basic rent and expenses, she has $60 left for the entire month. 60. Her whole income is basically swallowed by the cost of the education that was supposed to give her freedom. And here are her own words. This isn't just about a tight budget. It's about feeling trapped, like your future has been decided for you before you even got a chance to start. Her dream of becoming a nurse, of helping people, came with what she calls a life sentence of debt. Maria's story isn't just a case of bad luck. It's the predictable outcome of a system. So the big question is, how was this debt machine even built? The documentary traces it all back decades. According to the economist Dr. Sarah Chen, a huge turning point was the 1965 Higher Education Act. Now, it started with the best of intentions, right? It was designed to help everyone go to college. But by creating government-guaranteed loans, it basically removed the brakes from college tuition. Schools realized they could just charge more and more because, hey, the government would always back the loan. And the consequences are just wild. Look at this. Since 1980, wages have gone up a little over 150%. But tuition, it's skyrocketed by more than 1,200%. The gap between what we earn and what college costs isn't a gap anymore. It's a canyon. But wait, it actually gets even more complicated. It's not just the cost of the degree, it's what the degree is worth. The documentary brings up this really crucial idea called credential inflation. Basically, when everyone has a degree, it stops being a special advantage. It just becomes the minimum requirement to even get an interview. Professor Adewale Ogun just nails it with this metaphor. You're paying a fortune not to get the job, but just for the right to apply for the job. And that's the reality for graduates like James Whitfield, who's featured in the film. He's a fully certified lawyer, but he's unemployed and just drowning in debt. All of this really forces you to step back and ask some tough questions, like, is the college path always the right choice? And what are the hidden costs of this whole debt-fueled system? So the film does this really powerful side-by-side comparison. You've got James, the lawyer, with massive debt and no job. And then you have Daniel, who went to trade school, learned a skill, and is now debt-free and owns his own business. Now, this isn't to say college is worthless, of course not, but it seriously challenges that old idea that it's the only way to a stable life. And the toll here isn't just about money. The psychological weight of all this debt is this huge, quiet crisis. A massive majority, 65% of people, report feeling anxiety because of it. And nearly a quarter say it's actually damaged their personal relationships. This is affecting the well-being of millions. And that's why this quote from psychologist Dr. Patricia Voss is so important. We have to start seeing this differently. It's not just about dollars and cents. The stress, the shame, the dreams that get put on hold forever, this has become a genuine public health crisis. So where does that leave us? Is this trap just inevitable? Is it just the way things have to be? Well, the documentary's final section delivers a pretty powerful verdict on the system we've all built. Dr. Chen offers this absolutely stark metaphor. We've literally put a toll booth at the front door of adulthood, and every decade we just raise the price to get through. It's a system designed to pull wealth away from young people, right when they're supposed to be starting their lives. So this is probably the most important point of all. Education itself is not the bad guy here. The pursuit of knowledge, learning, growing, that's priceless. The trap is the financial machine we built around it, a machine of debt-fueled access to a market where credentials are worth less and less. And the idea that there's no other way to do this? It's just false. So many other developed countries have chosen a totally different path. Germany, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark. They treat higher education as a public good that benefits everyone, not a private debt for individuals. And guess what? Their economies haven't fallen apart. This proves the system we have is a choice, not a necessity. And that brings us to the final, really provocative question posed by Professor Ogun. If we know that real, working alternatives exist, why do we keep pretending they don't? It really leaves you wondering who exactly benefits from keeping this trap wide open, and what it would actually take for us to choose a different path.